Hello there, be Lisa, who has come to narrate a tale that unfolded a few months back, and the incident still lingers vividly in my memory. I'm going to unfold the narrative to shed light on recognizing toxic behavior and understanding when it's crucial to stand against it. At present, I'm 32 years old, part of a small family that includes my husband, Michael, also 32, and our fluffy companion. Michael and I are high school sweethearts who tied the knot early. Although we pursued college in different states, our bond remained robust. Next month marks our 15th anniversary as a couple. However, my mother-in-law, Karen, won't be joining the celebration. You see, Karen has harbored a dislike for me from the beginning. Blessed with two sons, she has always showered them with affection, considering them the epitome of perfection. In her eyes, no one could match their worth. During their younger years, my husband, Michael, and his older brother, Brian, reveled in their mother's pampering. However, as they matured, Karen's controlling tendencies posed challenges. Her teenage sons were restricted from dating or even conversing with girls outside school. No sleepovers with friends were allowed, and any resistance led to threats of punishment. Both Michael and Brian attended my high school, so I got to know them a bit. While Michael somewhat aligned with Karen's rules, Brian rebelled against them. He often found himself in trouble for sneaking out and socializing with girls. Karen even went as far as showing up at school to intimidate Brian's then-girlfriend. What Karen failed to grasp was that Brian had developed a backbone and no longer adhered to her commands. He defended his now wife, Rachel, when Karen attempted to drive her away. Once they turned 18, Brian and Rachel intentionally distanced themselves from Karen. Although Michael thought Brian was going too far, I refrained from commenting to avoid conflict. Little did I know, Karen would redirect her attention towards me. She went to great lengths to strain our relationship, even orchestrating an elaborate vacation during prom week to keep Michael and me apart. Despite Michael's plea to cancel the trip, that was the only time he opposed his mother. Each time Karen called me, berating and questioning my worthiness, Michael remained silent. Karen even accused me of potential infidelity when I went off to college. Michael, unfortunately, started internalizing these baseless allegations. When we were accepted to different colleges, we took a short break. Karen took Michael out to celebrate our supposed breakup. Unaware of Karen's manipulations, Michael started believing her accusations. Disturbed by his wavering stance, I attempted to communicate my concerns. Michael, your mother disrespects me. I've always tried to be friendly, but all she does is criticize and insult me. I'm tired of her behavior. You need to address it, I said. Michael, however, dismissed my grievances, defending Karen with claims that she meant well for his future. Frustratingly, he refused to acknowledge that Karen routinely called to belittle me. Even Brian attempted to reason with Michael, but Michael accused Brian of betrayal. Our relationship strained as Michael prioritized Karen's feelings over my concerns. Things took an unexpected turn when Brian married Rachel. Despite inviting Brian and me, Michael refused to inform Karen about the wedding. Karen, desperate to be part of the celebration, pressured Michael to intervene. Being the mama's boy he was, Michael argued with Brian about Karen. Initially hesitant, Michael contemplated boycotting the wedding to support Karen. I confronted him, questioning his allegiance. Do you want to boycott the wedding to support Karen? Do you remember what she did to Brian and Rachel in high school? Why should they invite her to their wedding? After much back and forth, Michael reluctantly attended the wedding. I hoped this experience would prompt a change in Michael's perspective, witnessing the happiness of Brian and Rachel, free from Karen's interference. I anticipated a shift in Michael's understanding. They relocated far away and organized the wedding to ensure Karen couldn't attend. Karen, upon seeing the pictures, went into a frenzy. She cried on Michael's shoulders, making him stay with her for a month. Michael even canceled our planned trip to Colorado to appease her. Despite my heartbreak, I believed our love could withstand these challenges. I hoped Michael would eventually recognize the toxicity in Karen's behavior. Fast forward 2 years, Michael finally proposed to me, and I gladly accepted. Karen, feigning happiness, later revealed that she had refused to give Michael her engagement ring. She suspected I was a gold digger and predicted our marriage's failure. I cherished the ring Michael chose, understanding that we both earned well as engineers. The wedding planning became chaotic as Karen inserted herself into every decision, criticizing my choices at every turn. Despite my objections, Michael sided with Karen in several instances. Feeling disheartened, I confronted Michael about the need for boundaries. This is getting ridiculous. We are the ones getting married. Your mom needs to give us space to decide on our own. I don't need her input on everything. She hates everything I decide, I expressed. Michael, however, defended Karen, insisting that her experience in attending more weddings made her input valuable. Frustrated, I pointed out that Karen wasn't even invited to Brian's wedding. Michael prioritized Karen's preferences, changing several decisions to accommodate her. Disappointed but understanding the importance of compromise, I went along with some changes to avoid more trouble. The wedding day arrived, and Karen, true to form, showed up in a white dress, attempting to overshadow the bride. Michael, realizing the problem, insisted she change before the ceremony. Karen feigned innocence, claiming she didn't have another dress. Swiftly, my maid of honor produced a pale blue gown for Karen. I had anticipated Karen's intentions and purchased a suitable dress for her, willing to avoid unnecessary conflict. During the reception, Karen made tearful speeches, lamenting the loss of her babies to awful women and criticizing our relationship. The wedding guests were visibly awkward, and even Karen's family seemed mortified. My maid of honor promptly took the microphone, redirecting the atmosphere, salvaging what was left of the celebration. Our honeymoon was marred by continuous calls from Karen, crying about feeling lonely and accusing me of being after Michael's money. I stood my ground, refuting her claims and asserting my financial independence. Despite these challenges, everything seemed to settle for a while until a few months ago when I discovered I was pregnant with our first child. Ecstatic, Michael wanted to share the news with Karen immediately. Feeling uneasy, I reluctantly agreed, expecting her to be happy about her first grandchild. To my dismay, Karen's reaction was far from celebratory. She accused me of trapping Michael and taking him away from her, claiming it was all part of my grand scheme. Unsettled by her newfound unhappiness, I decided to investigate further. One evening, Karen offered to make us tea, expressing concern about the chilly weather. Grateful for her kindness, Michael thanked her, sending me an "I told you so" look. Deciding to trust my instincts, I excused myself and checked on Karen in the kitchen. There, I'd observed her adding something from a carton into the tea. Alarmed, I confronted her, and for the entire time, Karen smirked at me from across the couch. Thankfully, nothing happened that night, but in the early hours of dawn, I heard Michael vomiting in the bathroom. Concerned, I found him in pain and witnessed him making multiple trips to the bathroom. Eventually, he went to the living room, and I approached him, asking about his condition. It was then that the fog in Michael's mind started to clear. Perplexed, he questioned Karen about the tea. Her confession came out in bits, revealing her intention to harm him and our unborn child. Appalled by Karen's actions, I demanded she leave. Michael, now realizing the extent of his mother's betrayal, asked her why she used cow milk when he was allergic, and we didn't even keep it in our fridge. Karen's response was chilling. She wanted him to suffer. In her misguided attempt to control him, she even offered me the cup she had used, not realizing I had switched them when she wasn't looking. In the aftermath, we called the authorities, blocked Karen on all our devices, and obtained a restraining order. Sean and Jesse, along with our extended family, were informed about Karen's actions, and they were just as disgusted as we were. Currently, Karen remains at a distance, but we are vigilant, eagerly awaiting the birth of our child. To ensure our child's safety, I made it clear to Michael that I won't allow Karen to have a relationship with our child. Surprisingly, he immediately agreed to this condition. Now, with the peace restored in our household after Karen's departure, we are contemplating a move to Scene City after the birth of our child. Uncertain about the future, I remain optimistic that our love will overcome whatever challenges come our way. As we eagerly anticipate the arrival of our child, Michael and I are basking in the tranquility that has settled over our home since Karen's departure. The restraining order has kept her at bay, but we remain vigilant, knowing she might attempt to resurface. With each passing day, the bond between us strengthens, and we find solace in the anticipation of becoming parents. The support from Sean, Jesse, and our extended family has been invaluable. They stood by us, appalled by Karen's actions, and collectively agreed that the restraining order was a necessary step. Our decision to move to Sean City after the baby is born stems from a desire to distance ourselves from the toxicity that Karen brought into our lives. A new environment surrounded by supportive family seems like the fresh start we need. As we navigate the final months of my pregnancy, Michael and I are actively preparing for the next chapter of our lives. We attend parenting classes, read books on child rearing, and decorate the nursery with excitement. It's a time filled with anticipation and joy, but we remain cautious, understanding that challenges may arise. The prospect of becoming parents has brought us even closer, reinforcing the importance of a united front in facing life's adversities. Michael has been unwavering in his commitment to our family, recognizing the need to shield our child from the toxicity that once surrounded us. His agreement to maintain distance between Karen and our child speaks volumes about his growth and determination to protect our family. While the future remains uncertain, our focus is on building a loving and nurturing environment for our growing family. The lessons learned from the tumultuous journey with Karen have strengthened our resolve to prioritize our family's well-being. We've come to appreciate the significance of setting boundaries and standing firm against toxic influences. As the due date approaches, we find comfort in the supportive network of friends and family who have become our pillars of strength. The journey hasn't been easy, but it has forged a resilience within us that will undoubtedly serve us well in the adventures of parenthood. In reflection, our story is one of resilience, growth, and the triumph of love over adversity. The challenges posed by Karen have, in an unexpected way, fortified the foundation of our relationship. The impending arrival of our child brings with it a renewed sense of hope and optimism for the future. Whatever may come, Michael and I are ready to face it together, hand in hand, with a profound understanding that our love can weather any storm. As we await the arrival of our little one, we eagerly embrace the unknown, confident in our ability to create a safe and nurturing space for our growing family.